The Solvay process, also known as the ammonia soda process, was developed by Ernest Solvay, Belgian industrial chemist in 1861. After studying in the local schools, he went to work with his father in the business of producing salts. Then, at the age of 21, he went to study with his uncle in gas fabric where he developed the idea of Solvay process to make sodium carbonate from saturated solution of common salt treated with ammonia and carbon dioxide. The invention of this method, which surpassed the Leblanc process used until then, was one of the milestones of the second phase of the Industrial Revolution and allowed Solvay to obtain a world monopoly of the manufacture of soda, providing it, in the course of a few years, enormous riches. After, in 1863, his company was born, Solvay. After some technical difficulties, Solvay embarked on a rapid international expansion, building plants in the whole industrialized world. Solvay was created in 1863 as a startup enterprise manufacturing sodium carbonate with a radically new industrial process. This was the dawn of the Second Industrial Revolution, an era of a dogmatic belief in progress through science and industry. Electricity was just being invented, and new processes were expanding the applications of chemistry even before the advent of the oil age. In the 1870s, the company became a global operation with the establishment of plants in France, Germany, Russia, and the United States. The process was introduced to Great Britain in 1874 and Norwich by John Brunner and Ludwig Mond. The Solvay process surpassed the method of making soda ash devised by Nicolas Leblanc, which unfortunately created large-scale pollution. The process was usually carried on at very large plants that became involved in a wide range of chemical manufacturers. Solvay gained reputation between employers and established institutes for the study of medical and social sciences at the University of Brussels. His company became involved in mining, producing coal, limestone, and salt for use in chemical works, and still operates about 70 plants worldwide. The Solvay process is an industrial process that aims at the production of soda ash, also known as sodium carbonate. It is one of the most important inorganic chemical processes due to the many uses the sodium carbonate has. Before the Solvay process, the soda ash was obtained from the Leblanc process, which caused a lot of waste and it had a high energy cost. Therefore, the Solvay process is a cleaner way to obtain this important product. Although this process uses ammonia, it is recovered during the procedure, which made the process a lot more successful commercially. The raw materials that are used during this process are sodium chloride or brine. This is a metal halide composed of sodium and chloride. It provides sodium ions in the production of the soda ash. Its molecular formula is NaCl. It appears as a white crystalline solid. We can obtain it from inland and oceans. The second raw material is limestone or calcium carbonate. It appears as a white odorless powder or colorless crystals. The limestone provides carbonate ions in the production of the sodium carbonate. It has a molecular formula of CaCO3. It can be obtained from the meaning of limestone. And the third raw material is ammonia, an expensive inorganic compound that is characterized as a colorless gas or compressed liquid. Its molecular formula is NH3. It can be manufactured or produced naturally from bacterial processes and the breakdown of organic materials. Each one of them are introduced in different stages of the process. It is divided mainly in 3 stages and has 5 different reactions. First, the ammonia is bubbled through the purified brine. Then, the limestone is heated to produce carbon dioxide and calcium oxide. The carbon dioxide reacts with the ammonia and sodium chloride to obtain sodium bicarbonate, which precipitates out of the brine solution and ammonium chloride as a byproduct. Calcination leads to the decomposition of the sodium bicarbonate and to the formation of the sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide, and water. The remaining of the heated limestone calcium oxide reacts with the water forming calcium hydroxide. Ammonia is recovered by reacting ammonium chloride with calcium hydroxide. This reaction is called the ammonia distillation. Ideally, the production of the whole process should be only the sodium carbonate and calcium chloride. The other products and reactants produced during the reaction are recycled through the process. but it is hard to get this ideal behavior. Therefore, the main wastes from the Solvay process are distillation, wastewater, and brine purification sludge. There are 5 reactions involved for this process, being this the main one. It has 5 reactions because that way production of sodium has an overall delta G negative, meaning that the equilibrium lies to the products, but the overall reaction requires an input of heat energy provided by burning coke. This heat will decompose the calcium carbonate. These two, coke and limestone, are burned together. The product each reaction has, the CO2, is used in the main reaction. Sodium chloride solution, or brine, is extracted from underground deposits by solution mining. This involves pumping water down into the salt strata. The salt dissolves and the saturated brine is pumped to the surface. Here it is purified and mixed with ammonia before entering a tower, called the Solvay tower, where the reaction with carbon dioxide takes place. At low temperatures, the sodium hydrogen carbonate is much less soluble than ammonium chloride and crystallizes out. This moves the equilibrium in the Solvay tower reaction to the right. However, this is an exothermic reaction. Careful temperature control is necessary to keep the temperature low enough for the sodium hydrogen carbonate to precipitate. In general, the temperature of the tower should be 55 Celsius. The sodium hydrogen carbonate is filtered out and heated to form sodium carbonate. Temperature should be at 180 Celsius. The calcium oxide from the decomposition of the limestone is slacked with water to form calcium hydroxide. The calcium hydroxide is used to regenerate the ammonia. In the Solvay process, sodium carbonate is produced from brine and limestone, with ammonia acting as a catalyst through a series of chemical reactions. First, the brine is saturated with ammonia in the absorption tower. Then, in the carbonation tower, carbon dioxide, which steams from heated calcium carbonate, reacts with the ammonia saturated brine to form ammonium bicarbonate. Then, finally, sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. Sodium bicarbonate is heated in rotary dryers to produce light soda, while ammonium chloride reacts with calcium oxide to recycle ammonia. We find soda ash in the production of toothpaste, bath salts, glass manufacture, swimming pools maintenance, paper production, cleaning products, detergents, and supplements in pharma. The Solvay process is a clear example of chemical engineering. During this process, we can apply our knowledge of chemistry, understanding the importance of each reaction and why they need to have the conditions previously reviewed. The Solvay process is very important and convenient. This is why we continue using this process to obtain sodium carbonate, although it was created in 1861. The soda ash is a component that is still very used. We find it in the making of toothpaste, cleaning products, detergents, and other products of our daily basis. This process is a very way to obtain these compounds because it's cheaper and cleaner, both due to the recycles of the products obtained from the reaction during the process. However, this process does not behave ideally. That's why it continues producing waste in big quantities due to the soda ash is very used and therefore is produced in huge amounts.